Could you recommend any good methods to identify and visualize waste or bottlenecks? Value streams come to mind, but I love your thoughts. I'd love your thoughts when you can feel delays but not see them. What do you think, Todd? Or do you want me to take a crack?
I'm wondering if there could be a specific example in here. So this is like a lean type question to me. Is that where we're going with this,
I think
Kyle?
so. I I don't know. So let's start with the feel and then work into the specific, right? I get a hunch of waste or bottlenecks when item aging gets out of control, right? When we see a trend of item aging shifting up is a smell. Cycle time increasing is a smell. Throughput decreasing is a smell. So I think the flow metrics give us a feeling or an indication that something's amiss. And I think that's really important to consider. So if you have those in place and you're seeing trends in those directions, maybe that's a red alert that something could be up. There could be waste or bottlenecks. But when it comes to identifying the specifics, there's an activity that I love to run with teams. I think it could be similar to like a value stream or some, but I really like saying, all right, we just shipped something. Now let's work backwards. What's the thing that has to happen before something goes to production? What's the thing that has to happen before that, before that, before that, until we get back to the creation of a PBI? And then when I have those headings set, and maybe there's 10 things that have to happen from PBI to released, now I want to know what's difficult about every one of those stages. And just have the team put up, well, this PR typically takes too long, and this group has to do a check, and the design group is backlogged. For step 3, the design group has to give us an approval, and for step 7, legal steps in, and you start seeing self-identified, self-reported issues that the team brings up that starts showing where the waste and bottlenecks could be. And I think that gives you yet another indication. Now you can take that information. You have data from the flow metrics, you have feedback from the team about delivery and what makes it difficult. Now you can look at your workflow definition. Do we have things in place in our workflow definition that would let us validate some of the things we identified as a team? And if the answer is no, then let's put something in that would help us measure that. If the answer is yes, take a look at that visualization and see if it's true. I mean, I think practices like that can help us better identify waste and bottlenecks and issues. And it's actually in the context of data, input from the people actually doing the work, and then validating that input through that visualization of work. Does that make sense, Todd?
Yeah. And I'm wondering if it could be just as simple as really identifying your definition of workflow, right? Somebody in their comments suggested a CFD that could potentially give you some kind of visual indicator of it, but and maybe it's just as simple as identifying a workflow, coming up with a potential area that you see as a bottleneck, and then measuring specifically things aging in there and the cycle time in that from the time it reaches that stage until the time it exits it. Here's the thing is, here's one thing I'll caution with this is like I've seen teams get so caught up on this lean thing, becoming really efficient that they forget about becoming effective, right? So pair this with knowing that in the broader scheme of things, our job is to deliver to customers, and we could be the most efficient team in the world with customers that are upset with us. So I think it's really good to identify these things, and as a Scrum Master, try to eliminate bottlenecks and things like that. Don't make it your life's work. I just think that there's broader things that we can be concerned about.
Yeah, I love that point, Todd. We're looking for the big boulders that cause the water to move in a different direction. We're not worried about each and every pebble that isn't impacting us, right? Choose your